I think like you get people out of survival mode, they start thinking different. I did, you know, when I figured out, you know, how to get myself out of the situation. My approach to life and people was different. I wasn't so angry. I didn't have my guard up. I wasn't so aggressive. I wasn't so, you know, expecting, if you ain't helping me, fuck you. That wasn't the mentality no more. And I can't blame nobody, you know what I mean, that's thinking about how they gonna pay their rent, or like going through not having food at the house, being young and having to go outside to hustle to feed themselves for school clothes. That's gonna change people. That's gonna make you feel a way, and you can't fault them. You just gotta kind of empathize with the scenario and understand. You put a person in survival mode, they're gonna survive by any means. I couldn't make a blanket statement to just the young people doing dirt. I don't think that's honest. You know what I mean? It's context for everything. Nothing happens in a vacuum, you know? But I would say that, you know what I mean, you're gonna lay in the bed you make. You're not gonna get away with nothing in terms of the energy. You know what I mean? You might beat the camera or the police. They might not catch you for what you're doing, but the energy is always gonna return to you. So when you just living in this cycle of being negative all day and just putting out negativity and that's the only energy you putting out, it's gonna return to you in different form than you put it out in. So I would just say, you know, master your energy. Do your best to master your energy and what you put out, you know. And
if it ain't congratulate, then it look like hate. If it ain't congratulate, then it look like what Nipsey.
Hold up. Blah. This ain't entertainment. It's 4 niggas on a slave ship. These songs just the spirituals I swam against them waves with. Ended up on shore to their amazement. I hope the example I set's not contagious. Lock us behind gates but can't tame us. Used to be stay safe, now stay dangerous. Cause ain't no point in playing defense, nigga. That's why I dove off the deep end, nigga, without a life jacket. Couple mil, tour the world, all my life cracking. Cook the books, bring it back so it's no taxes. Royalties, publishing, plus our own masters. I'd be damned if I slave for some white crackers. I was mapping this out, I hit the heights backwards. Hopping out the 85 and Reebok classics. Ran a couple marathons just to get established. To make it happen, you got to have dedication. Hard work, plus patience. To some more of my sacrifice, I'm done waiting. Told you that I wasn't playing. Now you hear what I've been saying. Dedication.
Welcome to the Mac and the Hagen podcast. This is episode 12. I'm your host, Trey. I'm here with Nige.
Yo, what up?
Dre.
Get him, Dre.
And Rico.
What up, though?
And special guest, D.
What it do with y'all?
We got to start this podcast off with some terrible news. We all got heavy hearts here. Nipsey Hussle passed away today. He was gunned down in Crenshaw, and it's fucking me up like crazy right now. So I was even trying to see if I even wanted to do the pod today, but we're gonna see if we can make it through and shit. I'm gonna let y'all talk about.
Yeah, that shit. Man, this is just fucked up. I don't even know what else to say after that. Like, this is some bullshit that this shit had to happen in his own hood, even out of establishment that he owned. That shit just fucked up.
Hell yeah. And the shit that fucks me up most about, you know, Nipsey passing, it was just like, I feel like his mission, you know, it wasn't complete at all. Like, he was doing so much to, like, you know, bring back or to give back to, like, the black community and whatnot. He started, like, this computer program within Crenshaw where it was, like, for little kids and whatnot to come in and learn how to code and whatnot. He was just doing a lot back for his hood. And, I mean, most of his music used to just get me through hella shit. Dre, you got anything?
Nah, man, that's just sick, yo. That shit, like, ill as hell. Dog was actually, like, in his music, he wasn't talking about killing niggas and shit. He was, like, speaking positively, like, coming out the struggle and shit. And that shit tough, yo. Like, at first, like, when they said he got shot, I'm like, yo, that shit sick. That shit fucked up and shit. But I'm like, yo, niggas get shot every day and shit. But, like, once they said he died and shit, I don't know why. That shit, like, just kind of fucked me up and shit. Yeah. Like, that shit had my heart heavy as hell. That shit sick as fuck, yo.
Yeah, it feels like, to me, it feels like I lost a family member and shit. Just because, like, you know, dude just was helping me get through hella shit in my life and shit.
Yeah, especially when it's a nigga like trying to put positivity in the universe and shit and good energy and shit. Like that nigga wasn't on like no scandals and shit. He was like actually a dope example for the black man in the United States and shit. That shit sick, yo.
Hell yeah. What about you, Rico? How you feel about it?
Just overall, like, shocked. Like, just the amount of words that you can't even express is like amazing and shit. Like, the fact that a person was doing everything right. Like, he wasn't doing anything wrong or out of the ordinary outside of trying to uplift and help his people and shit. And for him to go out like this, and it ain't even the way that he went out, it's where he went out at. Yeah. Like, he went out in front of his store, at home and shit.
In his hood.
You know what I'm saying? The one place that you feel like you supposed to be safe at.
Hell yeah.
And he get out like this, like, dog, that's some bullshit.
Yeah, that's so fucked up. Because, they say never wish, any bad, ill, or death on anybody. But, like, I don't know. Like, I just got this, like, revenge, like, shit just in my chest and shit. Like, whoever did that shit. I don't know, man. I just feel like they should pay for that shit like a mine.
Oh, facts.
And,
most definitely.
Yeah, so Nipsey, he was giving back to the hood, and I remember watching a couple interviews where he was saying, like, you should always give back no matter if people tell you, just get your money and leave. But he was like, all right, I don't care what y'all talking about. I'll make sure I do what it do. I'm gonna break the mold, and I don't live in the hood, but I will actually give out those opportunities. So he was doing that shit, and the hood still fucking took him in and shit.
He was doing it the Jay-Z way, one of my favorite Jay songs, I Did It My Way. Like, he was doing it his way. He did it exactly how he wanted to do it. So I give him none but respect and praise for doing exactly what he wanted to do, the way he wanted to do it and shit. Yeah. And it was working.
Hold on, D, how you feel? This is our guest today, D.
Man, I don't know, man. To me, it's just sad hearing about death in the black community, period, man. Just to hear somebody, who's coming up, trying to bring positivity into the world and bringing it, doing it the legit way. Yeah, he started off, maybe the wrong foot, but he had all good intentions.
Hell yeah.
And to see him, like we were saying earlier, I think Najee said it, you know what I'm saying? He did plenty negative things prior to it, but once he got his life right and got everything good, with the rap career, man, he was on the right way, man. He was on the right track. And to see him pass away, man, death it's too soon now. It happens too fast, man. 33?
Yeah, and it's always the ones who was planning on just making a huge impact for, like, the black community. Like, his impact was bigger than rap music. It was bigger than,
definitely.
It was bigger than actually, like, the black culture, because he was doing so much to, like, uplift, people in the struggle, people just trying to figure out ways out of their situation. And for them to take Nipsey out of all people, like Nipsey, that's what's kind of really fucking me up. Like, I just can't believe that, they did that shit. Yeah, so
I just feel sorry for the family, man. Like, I got a 2-year-old, man, and just to think if somebody tell my kids, hey, your dad gone, man, just to hear that, or to think about how their kids gonna handle that's hard, man. Like, that's traumatizing to a 2-year-old, all his kids. Lord London, man, I feel bad for him. All prayers up to the whole family, his mom, and everybody that he's taking care of, man. That's
word.
Everybody gonna take a hit from that, man. Not even just them, like you said, the world, man. And we don't need that as the black community right now. We definitely don't need that.
Yeah,
facts. Like, we don't need to start off our year, like, start the 2019 with Nipsey gone. Like, that shit's fucked up.
Yeah,
man, that shit's sick, yo.
And one thing I was thinking, when I got the news, and and this shit's like fucked up. But I'm like, all right. This is showing me, like, life is short as hell. The message that he was preaching was like, life is a marathon, but make sure you do all what you got to do to, better your situation. So I'm gonna just try to, continue to use his music and continue to use his overall, like, life purpose to, help me inspire and do shit for people too and shit. Cause that's fucked up though, yo.
Yeah, straight up. When I said, like, the niggas get shot every day joint, like, I wasn't thinking, like, I'm like, all right, he gonna bounce back and shit. Like, I'll always put some type of positive energy into this shit. So, like, I wasn't saying, like, yo, like, oh well. Right. I'm saying, like, yo, this nigga, and I was telling Trey that too, because I was like, man, what if this nigga, like, what if this it? I'm like, Trey, don't put that negative energy in the universe and shit. That shit's sick, yo. So I'm like, all right, he gonna be all right. Just put positive vibes and shit, you know. It's gonna be all right.
Yeah.
And they hit me Trey hit me with that motherfucking, what's the name? NBC reported that shit.
Yeah.
That shit's sick, yo.
It gave me chills though, man.
Yeah, I think the getting shot part was like, okay, he got shot. Is he good? But then he didn't make it. It was like, it was critical. We was in the room vibing, man. We was chilling, laughing. And then once the news hit, like the energy, the aura, the whole room, you can feel the vibe, man. I can feel like the nation felt that.
Yeah.
You know, social media definitely felt it.
Yeah. Like I said, I don't feel like his mission, I don't feel like it was complete. Yeah, and I just, my heart goes out to the family because I know, like, you know.
Word.
Yeah. I think the part that's, not to cut you off, Trey, but I think the part that's bothering me the most is the fact that, you know, everybody on social media be making jokes and shit about, when he announced that he was gonna make that documentary about Dr. Sebi and shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody's making these posts like, protect him at all costs, protect him at all costs. And you know what I'm saying? Shit like that. And ironically enough, like, the one time that we don't take a meme serious, this shit happens and shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, protect Nipsey at all costs was supposed to really be a thing and shit. Like, there's no reason why we should be saying rip to this dude right now and shit.
Yeah, man. So, since his whole mission in life was just, you know, inspire but give back to your neighborhood. With this incident, do we feel like it's a wrap for that? Like, do we think that is it still a good idea to set up, you know, a business within a hood and try to uplift your people? You got to go back and work within the hood. You don't have to live there, but it can have some, you know, catastrophic circumstances. How do we feel about, you know, giving back to the hood? Is that still something we think you should do? And does it come with these risks and whatnot?
I mean, I forgot who said this. Somebody said a quote. I can't think who the fuck said it, but they pretty much said, like, you shouldn't stop going to a black establishment because that one time you got bad service. You know, most of the time, so we get like bad product or bad service from a black establishment, we'll say like, oh, I'm never going to this shit again, or I'm never buying this shit again. I don't want this incident to, like, because when I first heard that he was completely dead, this made me hate my own race. Like, fuck, because when shit happen like this to our black people, it's always done by our own people.
Hell yeah.
So by, like, I don't want to have that mind state because, like, you can't have one bad black person do one thing and you just hate everybody. That's how white people view black people.
Right.
So I think you can still give back, but it just kind of go against what you want to give back because, like, incidents like this that happen, you don't want to do it at all.
Yeah, well, I guess I was asking. I'll let you go. But I guess I was asking, like, let's say you was living that lifestyle. You know, you had like a past or whatnot, but then you decided to go back. Like, if somebody was once, you know, doing dirt back in their day, and then they was like, all right, I'm done with that shit, but I want to bring my dudes back. Is it good is it in their own interest to just say fuck all of that shit? I'm just, after I make it out, I'm done completely, or should they just continue to give back and just say you don't have these incidents?
I feel like, look at what we're talking about now, Nipsey. I mean, we talking about him. He gave back. I feel like he did the right thing.
Yeah.
They say the good die young. You know, I feel like giving back is essential to the black community. We're the only community that doesn't give back to our own community.
Right.
We invest in everybody but ourselves. I feel like even though we know we don't have the best communities, you know, as we would like, but if we stop giving back, who will give back to our community?
But yo, you like, know? Looking at it this way, so I hear you, right? But like, honestly, like, niggas, like, that's not the problem at this point. The problem is niggas hate to see other niggas doing good so bad and shit. They willing to take away everything.
Right.
Just to show the world that, yo, this nigga ain't invincible. That shit, that's just sick, yo.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah. So ultimately, like, it comes down to the point, like, yo, like, maybe it is okay to get your cash and get the fuck up out of there. Right. You know what I mean? Because if niggas, like, if you can't be better and then try to make other niggas around you better and shit, and still and then still prosper and shit. Like, this nigga, he was like, he got popped off from trying to be in the neighborhood that raised him and shit.
Right.
That shit's sick, yo. It, like I said, it might be okay, yo. Like I said, to maybe give from a distance.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, invest in the schools, but not actually physically be in the neighborhood.
Yeah, because the sick part,
especially if you got that negative ass background.
Yeah,
My bad. Go ahead.
And the sick part that makes all of this shit so like fucked up is like it happened in the establishment that was there to help give back to the hood.
Yeah, he had his shop. He had his store in the hood, like in his hood,
and hiring all of the community in this place. And it wasn't just the shop. It was like
what you said. Didn't you say he was like picking up like homeless gang members and like nigga and like addicts, like trying to get them jobs and get them on their feet and shit. That shit ill, yo.
That's what's so fucked up, man. Because it was like you can go repeat it.
Nah, it's just shit like that where it's a repetitive cycle, like. And it ain't even just for Nipsey, just like rappers in general. Rappers in general that stay home get murdered, fam. It happens all the time.
I wouldn't even say just rappers though. Black people, a black man that was in the hood and somehow made it out, but he was like had a fucked up past. And let's say he didn't want to leave. You ever seen like let's say a dude open a barbershop and he trying to get his life together. Somebody still coming in and gun him down and shit. Yeah. Because I heard those stories a bunch of times when I was younger. It was just
I'm just when I say the rappers, I'm just putting it like I know that it can happen to the regular person, but I'm just saying like as the hip hop community as a whole and shit. Every time a person goes home or stay home, they get gunned down for trying to help the neighborhood that they from.
Yeah.
Like, what kind of world we live in where they get mad at you for not helping, but then when you help, they still kill you?
And the worst part about that, the reason why you put yourself in that situation in the first place is to feed your family and shit. Yeah, I mean, the only reason you in this situation is because we are deprived. Right. Like, we are stuck in situations where we ain't got what we need to survive and shit, so we gotta do grimy shit and be that nigga and shit just to make sure that I got food on my table. So ultimately, what I'm trying to do is get niggas out that situation so we ain't got to do this, and that situation is what put me down. And not even, again, not talking about Nipsey, just talking about the black man that's trying to do better for his community in general, but that shit ill, yo.
Yeah.
Niggas sick, yo.
I feel like you're right. I feel like it's a catch-22. And when I say what I mean when I say that, it's a lose-lose. You don't give back, the black community, they hate you for not giving back. And then when you do give back, they still hate you for giving back and doing what you're doing.
Because it's not enough.
And that's what's so yo, that's crazy. It is a catch-22 because it's like, yo, the whole thing for him to have that business was to stop you from having to, ride and steal and kill niggas. So it's like, yo, I'm going to give y'all these opportunities so y'all won't have to go to the street and do this shit. But it's still niggas that's still stuck in their ways and they just trying to live for the moment and try to, yo, I'm the nigga that, how many bodies you got, that whole fucking lifestyle and shit. And that shit's fucking disgusting as hell. And the other thing I was thinking of is like, Nipsey had the store first. Like, he came up with the store before he was even a rapper and shit.
Right.
So niggas waited till he got to the top of his, his pinnacle as far as the rap, and then they want to take all that shit away.
So, I know we might go off topic with this one, but that brings to the next discussion. I mean, do you think it's one of us? I mean, I say one of us, I mean African American. Do you think it was government related? Because we know he was talking about the documentary he was doing. Like,
I don't know.
How do we? I hate to say this, dog. The government can buy niggas, dog.
Yeah,
not all niggas. Cause like how Nipsey Hussle, he could have popped earlier if he would have gotten into the politics of the music game and shit. He did it his own way from when he first came out until where he at now and shit. But they say now that like he had like one of the best contracts in Atlantic.
But before we move even further and shit, what everybody talking about is the documentary on Dr. Sebi and shit. Yeah, Dr. Sebi was this herbalist from Honduras and shit. Now just trying to figure out where homie was from and shit. Yeah, so he was from Honduras. He was an herbalist and shit, and he was like naturally curing people like crazy diseases like cancer and AIDS and shit. And he wanted to do it his way and affordable, and he didn't want to put the government in it. Like they've been trying to kill Dr. They was trying to kill Dr. Sebi for years, and they finally got him and shit. Right. And Nipsey was doing a documentary on Dr. Sebi and shit, and like the entire world, all the social media was like, yo, we gotta protect Nipsey at all costs because niggas know that when it comes to Dr. Seppi and the shit that he was doing and the enlightenment he was trying to bring to the community and shit was gonna be his downfall and shit, and then this happened. Yeah, continue though.
But only what I was thinking that I mean that can be part of conspiracy. But only thing I'm thinking, as far as like fact base, is his last tweet. So his last tweet was like,
"Thank God for strong enemies."
Yeah, thank God for strong enemies. It's a blessing. So I read that thinking like he probably seen or felt like somebody was whoever his enemy was at the time.
He felt it, yo.
Yeah, they was
putting off a strong energy, man, and he felt it. And like I said, honestly, like on some other shit, this shit could be like something bigger than what it is. Like his past, and it might bring light to the shit that he was trying to put in the world and shit. Right. Because now, like I said, this had an all-time high. Like awareness is all the way up there and shit. Yeah. I mean, it may be that way and shit. Like he may have honestly, like I don't know, maybe predicted some shit. Yeah, that's just sick though.
It's always strange to me that every time somebody that's motivational, that has positivity, before they pass, they always have that last message that comes to the world.
Hell yeah.
It's strange that it happens.
Yeah, it seems like they know it's coming and shit. Like Biggie, he made 2 albums about that shit. Yeah. Tupac, he was talking about that shit all the time. Like niggas know when death is coming, they know that shit.
What D is saying, like, it's always strange when it's like someone has given a positive, uplifting message to like the black community. So like his message was actually ringing home with people. Like people was actually trying to figure out ways of bettering the situation legally. You know what I mean? So like it was going against the entire grain of whatever, the black person's plight is. You know what I mean? So like he wasn't saying, sell drugs, do all this shit. He was saying like, get on your grind. There's ways you can do it. There's ways to better your situation.
Yeah, if I did it, you can do it.
Right,
shit, yeah.
Right. So, and I think if you was thinking on a conspiracy shit, like whenever shit like that, like you can uplift a oppressed, group of people with some legal shit, like own land, buy stock. Like he was talking about owning land, buying cryptocurrency, buying stock, like investing your money, doing like the right shit.
Learning code, because niggas know that's where the world is going to. In 10 years, we ain't even gonna have like actual tangible currency and shit. Not 10 years, maybe like 20 years, but yeah.
His whole album was down there a blueprint of free game and shit. Right. That whole Victory Lap album, for as long as it took to come out, if you really understood the significance of I would hope people understood the significance of it now and shit, or not now, before and shit, because the album, outside of the album being good, he was giving out so much fucking free game and shit. Like that shit was ridiculous how much game he was giving out about how artists should be owning their masters, right? How motherfuckers should be ironically investing in their communities and shit like that. Like he was giving out so much shit for people, and all they had to do was like listen and apply and shit.
Yeah, like the niggas who gunned him down could have just took some of the game he was offering on a fucking album, use that for your own fucking life. You ain't gotta resort to this fucking gun toting ass bullshit that literally means nothing at all and shit. You know what I mean? And yeah,
I agree. I feel like now that this happened, I feel like we should take more. I think that the black community should take a deeper look into what does music actually mean, and we should apply it more now. We can't let this pull us back down and say cut off the head and the body follow. Right. If he was the head of us, leading us into the movement, we got to keep on moving in that same direction. I feel like we can't stop because Nipsey's going. I don't want that to happen to our community either.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, and that's what I was thinking too. I was just like, his message, because it resonated with me so much, but then there's a lot of people who want, the people that's just not aware of Nipsey at all. I mean, they might now start being able to get that message, so now his message will be able to spread, because you're bigger in depth than you are alive. But for us, and just like how we move, we can try to apply some of that shit to people we meet, it uplift each other and shit. But when I say uplift, not on like the corny shit, but just like on some like...
No, fuck it, on the corny shit too. But nothing wrong with that.
No, so what? Yeah, but what I'm saying is like, if I see somebody trying to, get their business on, or they trying to figure out ways of getting out the 9 to 5, or they chasing some shit, try to figure out ways of helping them out, because that was what he was always talking about. It's like, whatever your situation is, you can get out of that shit, but then you can also, you can stand on your own as, somebody that don't have to work for anybody. You can build your family, build wealth for your family on some entrepreneur type shit. So I feel like this is something that we can kind of continue that message of like supporting Black people and helping more people get to, you know, where they trying to go and shit.
In the great words of Nige, Trey, and Dre, it's hard to help these sheep ass niggas out here, man. Niggas listen to the music, that don't mean they go get the message, fam. That's the harsh reality that we live in.
Oh, facts.
Niggas be dropping hella gems in music, and the only thing niggas care about is turning up and shit.
Yeah.
Like, he was giving out the amount of shit that he was giving out as far as like people reinvesting in the shit that they invested in and believing in yourself, and like you basically what you just said, you know what I'm saying? If I can get out this struggle, because I was in the same place that you was in, like these sheep ass people out here ain't listening to that shit, man.
Yeah, he was even talking about different books to read, like ways of get, like he was talking about like, yo, I read books to get my mind right.
Yo,
and shit.
That's so funny that you say that, because he the first rapper to ever get me to pick up like a book in my adult years.
Spook by the Door.
Yeah, the Spook by the Door and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like the way he was describing it was just like, damn, there's some shit I gotta like read up on and shit. Like I wasn't picking up no book just randomly and shit. Like he actually like pushed me to like pick up that book and read what it was about and shit.
Yeah, man, that shit, it just all fucked up. Like that for sure killed the vibe, and most definitely in hip hop.
Shit out the vibe, yeah.
In hip hop, that's gonna be like a very heavy loss. Like Mac Miller that was a heavy loss, but like Nipsey, that's gonna be a super heavy loss, because everybody knew. Like everybody in hip hop speak highly of his name and shit. Like you can see on Instagram, everybody shouting him out, speaking high graces of him. So like it's gonna be difficult as hell. Like for the rest of the year, you just got a
huge void.
Yeah, and it's really a different situation, yo. Like, no disrespect to Mac and shit, but Mac like damn near took himself out and shit.
Right.
Like Nipsey, this nigga was just out here kicking it with his family and his friends and shit. You know what I mean?
In his hood, at his establishment.
He was at home. You know what I mean? It's a different type of situation, so it does hurt a little more. And again, no disrespect to Mac, because Mac was going through some shit.
No, this hurts a lot more.
That's what I'm saying though. But that's what I'm saying. Like this shit is different. Like it ain't the same type of situation. Like the shit, because of the way he went out. You know what I mean? It is a little more heavy and shit.
Yeah, and I think his message just hit you way heavier. Like his overall substance of his music hit my soul more. Like when he was saying that shit, like look what a nigga made. Like you could just hear like on dedication that verse, and just like
fam.
You know what I mean? Like that touched my soul, bro. Like like that's what it just so fucked up, because it's like, bro, like. In my lowest moments, or like when I was trying to get out of certain situations, like when I was in Atlanta and I was going through hella shit, like trying to like, you know, figure out my next move and all this shit, I just throwing Nipsey Hussle and J. Cole, and just start zoning out trying to figure out my next plan. I wouldn't even be like where I'm at as far as like my job now, because like me even learning the skills that I have, Nipsey Hussle music was like the background to me learning like how to do digital marketing, like all that shit. Like I was playing his music and just hearing his message just drive home. I'm like, here's what you gotta do, like nigga, map it out, like plan it out and shit. And I'm just using that shit as like motivation. So like whenever I was going through anything, I would throw in Nipsey, I would throw in Cole, and you know, let that shit ride. But now it's like all I got is Cole now. That's what's kind of fucking me up and shit.
Well, no, you still got Nipsey. You still got his old shit. So it's not like he's dead and his music is gone too and shit.
It's just no more new.
It's no more new music, and you're not going to feel his presence in the industry or in music anymore.
Yeah.
I definitely feel like since the Biggie and Tupac fiasco, this is the next critical death to hip hop era for us. I mean, our age group, we haven't experienced any significant deaths as far as motivational rappers,
right?
You know?
And
no, go ahead.
Oh no, I'm about to say this to me. This feels bigger than because like Biggie didn't he didn't motivate me. You know what I mean? Like he didn't. His lyrics, he was dope MC, but like his shit didn't touch like pop.
But wait,
I said for me.
But he got that's personal opinion, because he didn't get there because life after death he was getting there. That next album ready.
And Biggie was rapping Love Your Brother too and shit. Right. Biggie wasn't on that. Biggie was on some cool shit too. That's why Biggie was in LA. Like I'm trying to teach these niggas like this ain't the life.
Right.
Like we gotta love each other and shit. Like he was on the same shit.
Yeah, that's why he ain't get into with Pac and shit.
Yeah, you know, and that's I was saying like for me,
I'm
more
talking about our
Yeah,
era.
and I'm just saying we just speaking in general and shit.
Yeah, like me, I can feel. I mean, like when I listen, because when I was younger, I used to listen to Pac, and then you'll feel way about his death because like his message was uplifting, like all that shit. Then when I listened to Biggie, he really didn't do it, but like Nipsey, to me, this is damn near close to like if something happened to Cole and shit. Like it's like because his shit just was piercing and like, it hit every
like
time.
you said, this our generation. This is our generation, like of that situation and shit. Like that shit tough, yo. That shit OC.
Yeah. So, what do we, as a culture, how do we prevent shit like this from happening and shit?
I mean, it's not. You can't ever prevent like nothing like this because anybody can be touched. I'll see what they try to do to Robert Kraft.
You can't.
Like it's nobody is invincible. Nobody's untouchable. Like it's just gotta like you were saying earlier, just be prayed up and just gotta move better, move wiser, keep your circle small. Like I don't even know. It's like it's unpreventable.
Go ahead.
I don't think that it's not a real way that we can prevent it. I feel like it's ways that we can position ourselves in positions where it happens less frequently.
Right. Yeah.
I don't think that we can actually prevent it from happening because we don't know what truly happened at the.
So. Not even like on the level that Najee was saying it, like just on some regular basic shit. You know what I mean? Just like a nigga in the hood doing this thing, open a couple barbershops or a bar or some shit. Like you can't stop what the next man thinks about you and shit.
Right.
So like that's what makes it so hard and shit. Like you can't stop the next man hating like, yo, like this nigga might be a lick. Yeah, I mean shit going wrong. Now you gone.
Right.
Like I said, so like that's why I'm thinking like, yo, this shit it's not something that you can control. That's why it may be. Sometimes the best option may be, man, get in and get the fuck out.
Right. That's
because we got a homeboy. It just happened to his people and shit. I don't want to say his name, but yo, like hate is a fucking real thing.
Hate's sick, yo.
And he was a successful businessman, and similar shit that happened to Nipsey happened to him
at his own establishment. Yo.
Yeah, that's some sick shit, fam, and that's some shit that's uncontrollable. That's not a situation that you have actual like you can maneuver around and shit because you kind of prepare yourself for shit like this, but you can't really anticipate it, especially if you're trying to move a certain way. You know what I mean?
And that's what I was thinking because I was back to like the first topic we was talking about where should you give back to the hood? So it's like I feel like the best way of preventing this shit is not giving back, not even being around it. Once you get your money,
if you give back, man, get back from a distance, man.
But that's so hard to do and shit because you want to like
that's what raised you.
Yeah, but I'm saying that's what raised you. Then plus you want to see the work that's being done in your hood, from eyes view.
And you trying to put the kids in better situations than you were when you was there and shit. Cause you was them kids. You know how them kids feel and shit.
Yeah, because I don't have a particular hood that I lived in. I was like raised up in. But if there's some area like the house I live in now, like my mother stayed in that house and that goes in generation. Like once I move out, my cousin's gonna move in. So I'll help out that area that I kind of grew up in.
Yeah, because that area need hella help.
I feel like you can give back, but I feel like you have to show your face though. I feel like showing the face is what's the hope. Is the true hope. And that's seeing the buildings is nice, but the face is the hope.
No, that's the thing though. So if your mission, that's what this back to that catch-22 though, because it's like, all right, I want to show kids in these fucked up areas that it's real, that you can get out, you can make money, you can do this, doing it the right way. But by trying to show you that it's real, that I'm a real person, I'm not on the internet or you know what I mean, like that shit.
You putting yourself in jeopardy. And how the hell can I help if I'm not there no more?
And that's what Jay-Z said. How can I help the hood if I'm one of them and shit? One of the poor. But I guess you
not even poor if you dead, fam. Like this nigga can't help. He can't help the hood no more. But that's not a risk you should have to take. Right. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I agree.
So since the fact that it is a risk, fuck that. Yeah. Nigga, I'm gonna throw the cash in there from a distance, man. That's what you got accountants for.
Yeah, but I think that's why like Rico had said earlier, like Jay-Z and Rock Nation, they like the human resources of the hip hop. Right. Jay-Z and Beyonce, they give back a lot, and all that shit is anonymous.
From a distance, they give it back from a distance, straight up. Like, and that's how it is. Like that might be how you got to do it, yo. Like, yo, I don't need no credit for this shit.
Right.
And that's the thing. Like, if I'm helping, I don't need to have my face on it. If it's getting where I need it to get, nigga, it's still doing the same thing I want it to do.
But no, like how D said, like sometimes you do need to see the faces to get the motivation.
Yeah, but shit, at what cost though? At my life, for my life.
But he didn't know that.
I mean,
or maybe he probably.
But it's a common story though. That's what I'm saying. Like how if it was in common, if it was something like if this was an anomaly, I wouldn't understand. Right. This is a common story, yo. That shit's sick.
And that's what's so crazy because it's like you can't. And that's what keep us so fucking down as a people and shit. Because it's like, yo, we can't help our own fucking people because it's set up to have us get killed and shit.
But you know the sad part about this whole thing and shit, like D said about the whole Catch-22 thing. If we live in a generation now, if it ain't on the gram or Facebook, then you ain't doing it and shit. You get what I'm saying? Like Jay-Z and Beyonce then gave away millions of dollars and shit. But people will tell you that, no, that's a bad example. Let's just say Jordan gave away $1 million to a school, right? But he did it anonymously and shit. People would tell you that Jordan ain't doing shit for the black community because he ain't posting it or nothing like that.
But so back to the point I was making, it was like some people believe, that you have to see the person, and right. like a kid will have to see you. You know how like they say like you don't think you can be Jordan or LeBron until you actually like there and seeing them in real life and shit. It's like the same type of thing. Like I want you to know like, yo, I'm from here. Like I'm just like you and shit.
But wait, Jordan do give back to the community. All his Jordan's camps, he do show his face and shit.
Right. But black people will tell you that. Black people will tell you Jordan ain't doing shit for the community in a heartbeat.
And no, and the point is doing it within the community. So Jordan doing the camps, he's not in like Inglewood or Crenshaw with his camps.
It depends on the community you're talking about. Because just because he played ball for Michael Jordan, for instance, in Chicago, he came from North Carolina. Yeah. So he don't have to get back to Chicago inner cities per se. He can get back to North Carolina. But the city of Chicago might not feel that he's giving back because it's not where they think it should go.
One perception about people and celebrities and shit. At the end of the day, celebrities got a family to take care of themselves and shit. Like nobody's just gonna give away 90% of their income and shit.
Hey, yo, not to be on no fuck shit, but these niggas don't gotta do that shit, fam.
Facts. Exactly what I'm saying.
Like these niggas don't gotta do that shit, yo. Like this is some shit that they trying to do to better our people. Right. This is an option, yeah.
I know, and that's what I'm saying. Because sometimes when you in that situation, like you coming up and you from the hood and you poor, hold up, but let's say you poor as fuck and you like, damn, if only such and such come back to the block and help me out because I'm trying to figure this shit out too. So like in your mind, you're like, yo, when I get on, I'm gonna try to help everybody out. You ever heard somebody like they in the hood and they like, yo, if I do make a certain amount of money, I'm gonna help blah 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 because I know how hard it is to do it. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I feel like with that mentality, it's like damn near you got to kind of change that shit. It's like, yo, I just don't want any help anymore and shit like And when I get on my shit, like Dre said, I guess I'll help from afar, but I can't provide that. And that's what's so fucked up about our community, because any other community, they can come back to their community and give back, show their face. They ain't got to worry about being fucking.
That's what I'm saying, yo. Shit. The white community can get everything you want to the motherfucking suburbs and all that shit. Yeah, but then, nigga, we trying to get this shit together.
Yo, but is that deeply rooted though? Because like, can we like go back in the past? It's like, I know in tribes, African tribes, they don't fuck with each other either. So it's just like deeply rooted. It's just like a black thing, or
I think it's
or is it just a black American thing?
I think it's I think it's systemic. I think it's how they set up. I think it's how they position our community, how they position our people within the United States and shit.
But I'm saying, but in Africa, there is like the elitist tribes that do oppress people too.
No, but I'm saying like. In slavery, they say they taught us to like hate each other and shit.
Yeah, but I'm saying, but there's mad. But I'm saying in the different countries that's in Africa and shit, they different tribe. If I'm from this tribe and I go to I'm in another area of another tribe, they kill me.
Yeah, but
so I'm saying, is that deeply rooted or just it has to be deep?
I think it's what we are raised on. I think we are being raised the wrong way.
Bro, they taught us to hate ourselves and shit.
And like you said, it goes back to the Jim Crow. If this was the case. If we had our own grocery stores in our own community, right? No Walmarts, no Publix, wherever you stay at, none of that. We had our own. African American stores and African American everything in our own community and only shop there, we can then grow.
Yeah, that's what they say. That's why they say segregation was like the best thing that happened. That's why
they said that was the worst thing.
No. I'm saying that it's the worst thing and the best thing because like when we was at Oklahoma, what the fuck we was?
Yeah, when talking about the Black Wall Street.
Yeah, when Black Wall Street, when that shit was thriving, and then white people got a hold of how we was popping back then and shit.
I tell you.
Hold on, let me get this out real quick. But no, I'm about to say that back to what Dre was saying and shit, because Dre was saying like, yo, whenever a black person is having these like uplifting moments and they can see it, like Black Wall Street, if the whole world would have seen that shit, you know what I mean? And like, cause most people don't even know about that shit. Like, they didn't even want that story to get told. They fucking like threw a bomb on that bitch, and like they want no one even know that we was even capable of doing that shit. And I think Nipsey and the Black Panthers, all that shit, like when they was thinking about raising shit up, somehow they always end up going.
Our history always brings us back full circle to shit like this, as far as like Huey, all of them, like as far as like the Black Panther movement, all of that shit ended with somebody being dead and shit. It's never a time in history where we had a success story with none of the shit that we've did. You know what I'm saying? As far as like uplifting people, and then like it's just fucked up as a whole and shit. And then when y'all was talking about the whole us as a black community having our own shit, it wouldn't work because a lot of the people in our community got a crab in a barrel mentality.
That's what just happened to him. He had the fucking own shit there and shit.
I mean, bro, we really don't know what happened though. But we can't speculate. But that's what it seemed like.
He got shot.
But I'm saying, but we don't know if it's black or not, because if they don't ever find out who the killer is, that's when the conspiracy is like, okay, the government did it. But then until then, like, we don't know who did it. But we can speculate in what we think will happen and shit. Yeah. Because there's like rumors going on right now saying somebody, one of his friends did it. But like, yo, how the fuck can you get that information that quick? Yeah. So we don't know, but we can't speculate. But how it's seeming like some black niggas did that shit.
Even though I think it's the crab in the barrel mentality.
Yeah, shit. That shit's sick as fuck. Like, they don't necessarily know what could have happened. Well, they do know what could have happened, because Nipsey wasn't just a rapper that was just rapping. He was actually putting actions behind his words too and shit. Yeah, that's a scary he was shit. Definitely telling y'all, hey, I'm finna do this, I'm finna help y'all do this. And then in the process of him doing it, he fucking get his life took.
And the wild shit, he was the only rapper right now with the subject matter. Only rapper with the subject matter. Like how clear the subject was coming across to everybody. Like, cause Rick Ross shit is
he's not the only rapper. Yeah, because Jay got the same subject matter.
No, I'm talking about like just like right now, like super relatable right now and shit. Cause Jay shit, he could still have some of that. Nipsey, most of the entire bodies of work, like Victory Lap was all about that shit.
Yeah, Slauson Boy was mad about that.
He's one of the rappers, because Jay Electronica, he do a lot.
Jay Electronica
drop shit. J. Cole. You know what I'm saying? Whenever he do drop shit, it's like Nipsey Hussle type of.
Well, what I mean is like, I'm talking about like embodying that shit, like embodying owning your own shit, embodying investing, embodying becoming smarter with your business, embodying.
Bro, we're not taking nothing away from him. We just saying that line is wrong and shit. Because it's mad niggas like that. Even Sean do it. Like Big Sean. Yeah, Big Sean does it. J. Cole do it. Kendrick Lamar does it. Jay-Z do it.
In Harlem,
like, you tripping? It's mad niggas doing it.
That's not what I'm saying.
But I mean, the only reason his is different because like he actually, the niggas that we named, the only nigga that's really from the streets doing that shit is Kendrick, and Kendrick he's not gang affiliated.
Right. And so what I'm saying is like, because Sean, he's not touching the people that Nipsey can touch and shit.
But that's not what we saying.
You can't say that because he's from Detroit, he's touching the whole different type of.
But that's not what me and Najee saying. What me and Najee is saying that he's not the only nigga speaking that truth and shit. Yeah. It's mad niggas speaking that truth.
The truth. I'm not talking about Big Sean has like the positive energy message and shit. I ain't talking about that message. I'm talking about the come up from your oppressor, like the oppressed people. Yo, you don't have to be this way. You could do all of this shit based on, but not just saying it in like a motivational type or like.
He's more so breaking what Trey is basically saying is that Nipsey was more so trying to break that mentality that we was all raised upon with the Jim Crow laws. He was breaking it down in our heads, showing us how to break free from that oppression and grow to where we can give back like he was.
And he was giving like he was given a clear blueprint. You know what I mean? Something that was most people can follow along exactly how he did this shit. Like he was explaining in most of his songs, like, yo, here's how I did this. Here's how you can do it. He even had a song on his album that was breaking down how to get your first million and shit. Like,
oh yeah, that's true, but that what me and
Big
Dre
Sean was
saying,
not doing
no,
that
not
shit.
even Big Sean. Like you can have Common, Talib Kweli, all them conscious rappers. They rap like that.
They rap about making our people a better people.
Facts.
That's not.
And he's just doing it from a different standpoint,
right? So
we
I'm
understand
saying
that.
I'm saying like for how he was reaching the hood, because Common, a hood at like most people. Like he was touching like Crips and Blood, like like the gangster niggas, like they was rocking with what Nipsey was saying and shit. And I think that was what was more scary than anything, because like of course Common can touch a black dude that's on his shit, going to college.
But you don't think Jay was doing that?
No, I think Jay.
You don't think Nas doing that?
Killer Mike?
No.
Yeah.
No, I don't think.
I don't think they're doing it to the newer generation that's coming up.
Right.
No, but I'm saying, but Killer Mike is doing it because he's doing it on all platforms. He's on Netflix and YouTube, so that's reaching a platform.
And Run Jules is talking about the same thing.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. Making it digestible though, making it eat, because like Killer Mike and all these dudes y'all naming.
So 444 wasn't like that.
No,
that's what you. That's what you telling me.
Pretty much saying that Nipsey he put the medicine in the candy.
He's the
no, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. But how is 444 now like?
Because so 444, what I'm thinking is like, the audience that Nipsey was able to hit with his message versus, because 444, it's similar message to what Nipsey had. 444 going to track the older generation. You know what I mean? It ain't gonna hit like young. Well, we Jay-Z fans, but
we in the middle of that.
Like let's say you a Crip or you a Blood, and somebody hands you like 444, like a young nigga, 18, 19 and shit. He get you think he gonna listen to 444 or he gonna listen to Nipsey Hustle Victory Lap and shit? Like I'm just saying, Nipsey.
It depends how old
I was gonna
he
say
is.
young niggas listen to Jay and shit, and Nipsey. Because Nipsey really didn't. He met the Ratchet Cloud. Like, he spoke to the Ratchet Cloud way better than Jay did. But he didn't really speak to the Ratchet Cloud. To the Ratchet crowd. Right. He just spoke to the Ratchet crowd better than Jay did.
So, I my only point is he was able to hit the... to me, it was similar. Because I know I'm not saying legacy-wise or anything. But you know how, like, they say how Pac was able to hit the certain crowd that most niggas couldn't hit, like, that real hood-ass, like... I'm hood as fuck, but I can still spread this message, like put it in the candy and shit. Nipsey had that capability, and he was actually doing it. Like hood niggas was loving this nigga and shit. As far as like
I'll say
the message and
he
shit.
didn't hit his potential all the way yet, because of course Jay-Z has a bigger following, so his point gonna hit way harder, way harder than Nipsey is. I'll say his potential was like out of this world and shit. So like
his potential was fucking nuts. Bro.
Later on, eventually he was gonna be known as the inspirational hood rapper and shit.
And that's why like the niggas like Jay and like Puff were surrounding themselves with this nigga and shit, because they seen what this nigga was gonna be. Yo.
I think his
like
whole
good energy brings in good energy.
But I just think his whole like style and image, and I think it was more clear that this nigga was one of us and shit. Like, he looked like one of the hood niggas that he was trying to get that message across. Whereas, like, Jay threw on a suit. Like, I just think he was penetrating the audience way. He was penetrated, especially than Diddy, because Diddy was more like the business mogul and shit. But from like I can see myself in Nipsey and shit. He's tatted up. He look hood as fuck, just like me. Like,
you're not what?
Nipsey's tatted like fuck.
No, you said just like
you ain't tatted
not me.
He got one tattoo. Not just nigga tatted up.
Nigga not a thug at all.
Bro, I'm not talking about myself and shit.
No, but I know what you're saying.
Yeah, I'm talking about,
no, but he did. I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. He did it at a very minimum scale. Even though the scale was minimum, it's still effective.
Right.
But Jay-Z, he had everybody else that we're talking about that was saying that was talking that shit now too.
Yeah.
They just have a bigger
platform. I'm just saying, as far as like
but his potential was like gearing him up for him to be on that part as Jay and Diddy.
You know how if you look like the nigga that's out here, like if I'm a hood ass nigga, I see Nipsey, I'm like, yo, this nigga is me. You know what I mean? You can feel like you can relate to that shit. Just like how how Boosie was like when Boosie was preaching that message, niggas was like, yo, he's one of me. Like I'm crazy just like this nigga and shit. Like I feel like Nipsey, his whole message was he was able to get that shit way across to the audience that or the oppressed audience that can tell like, yo, he's speaking real shit, and I believe that this nigga came from exactly where I'm from. You know what I mean? I believe that he's that same type of shit. So I don't know. I think that's all that shit fucked up though, bro. But he had hella shit to prove and shit. He had so much shit to give, bro.
Yeah, he had a long way to go, man. It just sucks that he got killed at 33. That's like young as fuck. That's too fucking young.
So, I got a question, and it was probably gonna come up on our next topic or whatever and shit. So, what do y'all think this do for like rapper, like security and shit like that? Like me personally, I feel like when shit like this happens, it fucks up the fan and artist interaction tenfold and shit. Like shit like this don't make an artist want to sign autographs or take pictures and shit with nobody. Like after shit like this,
he wasn't doing that though. He was just like from what D was telling me, it was a nigga in the street shooting at the fucking place and shit.
Yeah, but he just took a picture like 30 minutes prior.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, with a baby girl and shit.
His daughter. Fucked up. Bro.
He just took a picture and shit.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I just think,
as an artist, I don't know. As an artist, if that was me, that should have had me like real skeptical about, you know what I'm saying, like fan interaction and shit like that. Because at the end of the day, I'm a human being just like everybody else, and my safety matters just like everybody else and shit.
But that's what they want. I feel like that's why they did it. I mean, I personally, I don't want to say it was, and this can be conspiracy. I don't want to say it was. I believe it was probably one of us.
Yeah.
But I feel like it was somebody higher. It was
somebody got to the person.
Somebody got to them and said, "Hey, for this amount, would you make that move for me?"
Oh yeah.
I don't feel like it was that person just hated Nip so bad. I feel like they was like, no, like if we can get to him, because the movement that he's creating is gonna shake this world, and we don't want this movement,
bro.
If
not
the
at
black
all.
community can understand what his verbiage and what he can hint to,
bro,
and what they can do, if they reunite, I would say.
And not even that, because like y'all was talking about the Dr. Sebi shit. You know how scary that shit is? If this nigga can not only tell you how to be an entrepreneur, start working for white men, but also eat better, start taking care of your body. Here's the right shit to eat.
Yeah, because ultimately most of his healing was diet.
Right, it was diet and how to eat shit.
He was an herbalist.
If he was doing that 24 years ago, this was 85 when he had the cure for AIDS. If he was doing this back then, think about what our people would be at if we had the access to that 25 years ago.
It's so deep because like the amount of money that like they make, like if let's say you found out that all right, you can eat plants and all this shit to cure pretty much any disease. That's what he was saying. He was saying if you eat what is it called, eggplants and all this shit.
He was it was
like the alkaline.
It was an alkaline diet. It was the alkaline diet.
And I'm thinking that whole shit can take down industries and shit.
Yeah, because like you said, like I think like you were getting to the money that they make from treating the diseases,
right,
versus curing the shit.
$1 trillion business.
Yeah, you losing that.
Always about
like they like ultimately the government thinking like like that shit'll like cripple our economy and shit.
Yeah. Especially for the black folks, because we the ones like damn near the sickest and shit.
Yeah, he like curing high blood pressure and shit, like normal everyday shit that niggas taking pills that for the rest of your life for. He like, you ain't gotta do that shit.
Fam.
Make these moves, you know what I mean? Like this will change your life. That shit ill.
Have y'all ever seen the prices for shit like that?
Minus your health care. I know we all got jobs and we got health care. I went to the store for my grandmother a couple of days ago to get her prescription, and she got the state health care, and I still had to pay like $55 for her blood sugar medicine.
Right.
And I'm like, Grandma, you got state insurance. This should be free. Imagine that times 1 trillion people paying them $60 every 2-3 weeks for that. That industry is booming off just that one medication. You know, if the doctor was able to take that away and give people it from growing plants that came from the earth, that'd turn the whole economy around. It'll put us back in power, and the government don't want that, man.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think, I don't know, man. Hopefully more answers are revealed and shit, man.
Yeah, that shit's sick, yo. Rest in luxury, man.
Rest in power. Nipsey the Great. That boy's got anything else to add?
Man, this R.I.P. Nipsey Hussle, man. It just fucked up. This had to happen to our community. One of the greats that passed away.
Hell yeah.
Man, yeah, this gonna hurt for a minute.
Hell yeah. I'm gonna be bumping that shit. Bumping Nipsey
You was on your way up, Nip. You finally gave the world the album that they was waiting on. It took you 10 years, but you did it, man.
No, Slauson Boy 2 is hard,
shit,
man.
Mailbox Money was fire.
I was finna say, yo, like Nip been that dude.
Through. He just wasn't getting the promotion because that's why he signed with the.
No. When I say he gave the album that the world wanted, this album finally put him on a national space and shit.
Yeah.
It wasn't just. When I say local, I mean it wasn't just for like niggas like us and shit.
Yeah,
like that shit put him in the conversation with people like that's getting Grammys and shit. Like that's a national scale thing and shit.
I'll tell you why that shit happened because it wasn't by happenstance that it happened like that it pretty much that it happened like that. Just used happened twice and shit.
And did you just say happenstance, my nigga?
Yeah. No, hold on. But,
no, explain that word to me.
No, hold on, but let me get this point out.
All right, go ahead.
But no, so I'm saying like how dude was so Nipsey was independent for like majority of his career, and he had just when he dropped Victory Lap, he had signed a major label because he said he wanted to reach a bigger audience. So once because he started getting promoted more like a major label act versus like when he was the independent stuff. So that's kind of why his message started to get to a larger audience. Because if he would have signed a major back when he dropped Mailbox Money, even Slauson Boy,
he was independent for Slauson Boy and Slauson Boy too.
And Mailbox Money, he was just selling that.
That's what I'm saying.
So that's why it started to touch the people now, because it was like he had more resources behind it, because there was more money backing it, and just as soon as he signs his major label, this bullshit happened too. So I don't know, man. It's all fucked up. But
I definitely want to just give a moment of silence for him, man, for his family, man.
Yeah, we can
do something like that. I don't know how much time, 15 seconds or something.
Yeah, we can do a moment of silence. Well, we're gonna wrap up episode 12, and then we're just gonna end it with a moment of silence for Nipsey.